What's up, YouTube? Just had the best day ever at Lake Norman. We absolutely killed them. Right here's at the end of the day. I had the videos a little mixed up so wouldn't be filled with this dink fish. Here's a 3.5 pound largemouth right before dark. Going up near this pier. I threw the whopper plopper by here like 3 or 4 times. Nothing bit the whopper plopper. He didn't want the topwater. Had a little finesse, little zoom trick worm on a shaky head. 3.5 pounder right here. My Lake Norman PB barely. I've had a 3.41 on a shiner, which is cheating with live bait. But I've had a few over 3, but not many. This is probably my 4th one over 3 pounds from Lake Norman. And you can see he's got like a 5 pound head. He's a post spawn fish. Moving out towards the main lake. This is close to the boat ramp. I was about ready to put the boat up. And got lucky. It's a good fish. He's got like a 5 pounder's head. Right here, look at the top right corner. Bam.
Hope I got that on video. Oh, that's a nice,
you just see
nice one, dude.
my friend ran on water with the KVD sexy dog up there, catching a huge fish on the walking bait.
God, if that thing wasn't post-spawn, it'd be...
This is a huge spotted bass right here. It's a little bit out of order because I had so many dink fish. I didn't want to start out with this little dink fish. So I tried to put the bigger fish at the front of the video. This fish was pulling. The spotted bass fights so hard. The 3.5 pounder I caught was pulling too, though. But I mean, it was on a little tiny spinning reel. This fish is a post spawn 3.06 pound spotted bass. Bigger than my biggest spotted bass in my life. That's a spotted PB for him. It's a huge spotted bass. Before pre-spawn, that fish probably weighed 4 pounds at least. A huge fish. Get a weight on it here. Our best 5 was 13.6 pounds. We had a great day. We caught a lot of big fish. We caught a lot of fish, period. I caught 19. He caught like 10 or 11 or 12 or something like that.
Oh my God. He got beat mine too.
He left before dark though, about 7 o'clock, and I still was catching him. That's when I caught that 3.5 just a minute ago. It's a huge spotted bass right here. He's post spawn, he's still not that skinny, but it still would have been like a 4 pounder in the winter time. And if you see on the top right corner, I was actually trolling past it. I was about ready to, I didn't expect a huge spotted bass. This was closer to dark too, like 7:30. Had to mix up the videos on a whopper plopper. Big spotted bass right here again on the top water. Caught a lot on a shaky head and that big largemouth on a shaky head, but it's 2 big spots. This fish looks really rough. You can see he's all scraped up post spawn. Big spotted bass came on Topwaters. Right here's when I first left the boat ramp. Here's another largemouth on a popper. He slurped up the popper. I didn't expect to get anything right there at the boat ramp. But he bit it. He was a 2 pounder. Not bad for Lake Norman. The only 2 largemouth we caught were pretty big. Of course, it's hard to catch largemouth at Lake Norman. You catch a lot of spotted bass. When they're spawning, though, I can catch a few largemouth, and even now post spawn, I catch a few largemouth. Summertime they become really hard to catch. That's not a bad one. He's definitely skinny though. He could weigh a lot more.
It's all about confidence, dude.
Here's just a little spotted bass on a secondary point. For a lot of these fish came from secondary points. Shaky head always works at Lake Norman. If you want to just get bites, throw a shaky head.
8 pound test, let's see if you can make it. Oh yeah, that's a nice one.
Here's a skinny, long, 2 pound spot. He's just real skinny.
There we go. It's a huge one, but he's a super skinny.
Just like 1.91.
Skinny. He's like...
He was a decent fish. He was the 5th fish on our 5 fish limit.
Oh, he's tiny. Of course I get the little one in.
Here's another one on the shaky head right here. This little guy. It's actually an older. This is one of the First few fish I caught, I put the bigger fish in the front of the video just to make it more interesting. So many dink fish. We caught so many fish today. I caught 19. I mean, best day I've ever had at Lake Norman, really, altogether.
Still alright.
There's a little guy on the shaky head. The green pumpkin little finesse worm. Zoom finesse worm.
Probably was caught by us.
On a spot remover shaky head, you know, those stand up 1/8 ounce. Catch fish all day. This fish has obviously been caught before. Most of the fish we caught have been caught before. We fish close to Queen's Landing, so a lot of these fish are caught in tournaments and released right there close to the boat ramp. We're out down near the island in that first inlet right there. Another one on the top water. He caught these 3 fish. I'm gonna put the big one up front. He caught 3 fish on 3 casts after a boat that was wakeboarding flew by us. I guess the waves got the fish going. He caught these 3 fish, 3 in a row, all on top waters. The walking bait. I missed so many fish on the whopper flopper I could not. I actually got 2 in, but I probably had 12 bites. They would just come and smash it. Little spots mostly, but just could not get a hook in one.
God, that's the same fish. That's one of the first times I've seen it top.
It's a good fish there, 2-pounder. Here's a little spot on the shaky head right in front of the pontoon. Boat docks are killing right now. If you go to Lake Norman, if you throw around boat docks, especially near a point, you're going to catch them. Surprisingly, some fish are still spawning. Most of them are post-spawn, so they're pulling back out near the main lake. Here's only a little one I was able to catch on the whopper flopper, and he hit it like an actual big fish, but he wasn't big at all. Tiny little guy. Even those little guys will hit it so hard they'll just come out and jump on it. Here's another one on the shaky head. Shaky head was killing. Most of my bites on the shaky head. He's a decent little fish. He's probably 13, 14 inches, like most of the fish in Lake Norman. Full of spots. He's a fat little guy. He's not bad. He's probably 14. Spots are definitely longer, largemouth 14's easy to catch at Lake Norman. That's really the size limit. Here's one there at the end of the day, actually. The video's a little out of, and he had a huge spot following him. It looked like he was trying to eat, the spot was trying to eat him. I think he was trying to slow bait, but it looked like he was about to eat him head first. He kept getting near his head. Huge spot, so I was trying to throw down and catch him while he was following this guy. A lot of times, especially with spots, you'll get followers. They'll definitely follow your fish up. It's not many times I can get them to hit, though, but sometimes you can. This guy wasn't a bad size one right here. He's definitely post-spawn like most fish there. He's probably close to 2 pounds. He's a good one. He's probably 1 3/4. Here's another one on a secondary point with a rock. Another one on a shaky head. My friend was on a Cinco, not giving me bites. Last time he was killing me on Cinco, this time the shaky head was killing the Cinco. So you never know, every day is different. Even though it was cloudy and rainy all day, you would think they'd be closer to the top of the water column. The top waters were working, but Cinco was not working. The shaky head was working. Here, right here, we threw actually in the same exact spot. And I got a fish on the shaky head. He didn't get a bite on the Cinco, so it just shows you the Cinco just wasn't working as good as the shaky head. Here's a little guy off a deep dock, and then here's another one. He actually caught that one on Cinco.
He had it just sitting there.
He found this tree that had 3 or 4 bass nests around it, and actually fish at 71-degree water temperature, but there's still a few fish nests in there. We seen one huge female that was probably 4 or 5 pounds swimming around, but she wouldn't bite nothing. Here's out the this is the last point before he gets out to the main lake right here.
Yeah, well,
It's really shallow there, so I didn't expect to catch anything, but I actually caught 2 fish there.
I see my line going. I was like, damn, I'm stuck on a rock.
It's a decent sized fish there.
Yeah.
Probably about 1.5 pounds. He wouldn't even make our 5 fish limit though.
Little guy. Sight fishing 71
Right there's that tree. Here's a sight fish. I was sight fishing him off a nest.
Somebody fishing Lake Norman. They just got
3 or 4 nests right there next to each other. One largemouth on a nest, and the female was big, like I said, 4 pounds or so, maybe even more. We couldn't get him or her to bite though. He caught this fish just randomly out swimming. That's a good size spot.
back out towards the main lake. Good one though. They got cut.
Every fish we caught today out of, what, 30 fish, only 2 were largemouth, so it's definitely over on the spots now at Lake Norman.
Not bad.
A lot less largemouth. You can catch them in the spring though, it's just, after that they like disappear. Spots are just so aggressive too. So there might be a largemouth around, you just don't catch them.
That's pretty loaded. They ain't no bad sized fish. Well, you get worse than here.
It's the only thing I hate about Lake Norman. It's hard to catch a fish over 5 pounds. It's almost impossible because spots aren't going to get bigger than 5 pounds. And the largemouth are few and far between. It happens there, but not very
Same
often.
fish that bit it 3 times in a row, or is there a different fish?
But there's a lot of fish.
Look right in the eye and
You see, most fish have been caught before.
it's infected.
I mean, their hook marks are going to heal in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Been
And
caught.
all these fish have hook marks in them.
I mean,
It's
it'll heal.
definitely a pressured lake. Very pressured, but you can catch fish there. All day, obviously. The last few times we went, we've killed them.
I doubt it. That one in the water.
Here's a little guy. Went to Lake Lookout. Only caught 3 fish. So it just shows you how much better Lake Norman is. Lake Lookout has bigger fish, but they're way smaller. I mean, way less fish. Lake Norman are smaller. Here's right close to the dark. One on a shaky head. Actually, just set this rod down and start throwing a whopper plopper, and I see my rod take off. I was just had the trolling motor on, and he picked it up, took off with it, about pulled my rod in the water. It's a decent little average little size fish there. You can catch them all day, and this one is at the boat ramp. It's literally pitch black. So I threw a whopper flopper around the light a few times. And this was a good size one, about 2 pounds. You probably can't see nothing here. GoPro doesn't really work when it gets dark at all. Can't see anything. He blew up on the whopper flopper though, right there at the boat ramp. I was literally putting my boat, already had my car pulled down,
That one's a 2 pound spot, probably right there.
and I decided to throw it out there at the light, and he was in the light. He killed the whopper flopper.